It is, let's see, 06. Why isn't this typing?
Ian is the mad note taker. He does an awesome job.
We're so behind on minutes. So I don't have any minutes for you. The problem is we just kept meeting so much because of the beach. So I think, yeah, if we want to jump in, this is Victoria. She had applied for a lifeguard, and then looking at her resume, it seemed like she was someone we should talk to about this beach director position.
Sure.
Springfield?
Yeah.
Yeah, I graduated. My undergrad was Springfield.
Oh my
And my
god.
master's was at Assumption.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, are you a senior this year?
I'm gonna be a senior next year.
Next year, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do love it.
Mhm,
Yeah, good.
it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Nice.
involved in a lot of stuff on campus, so
Yeah.
it's definitely, it's
That's
great for
application.
opportunities. You
Yeah,
know what I
good.
mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then that was her. Oh no, her resume was here somewhere.
Certificate.
Oh, right there. So here, sorry, I
Oh, barista are great. You can work in the snack shack.
I mean, it sounds like you have a lot of lifeguarding experience.
Yeah, so I've
Yeah.
been a lifeguard since I was 16. I've been teaching lessons since I was 14. I worked with Milford, like if you know Peter Filosa and like all those people
Yeah,
down there,
yeah,
and
yeah.
Ronnie. They've been my bosses forever, and all my siblings are like lifeguards, so big involved with that since I was little.
My wife actually lifeguarded there for 5 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Another lifetime ago. But
Yeah, no, that pool had been open forever,
Yeah.
and they were planning to renovate it over like COVID and stuff, but then it just never happened. So, yeah, I was kind of just, looking around for like another sort of like lifeguard gig. I've worked for DCR before. That was like before I did Pheno
Mhm.
when I first got my certification. Yeah, stuff like that.
Okay. So it is a leadership position.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Sometimes we ask questions like, what would you do in the case if someone wasn't pulling their weight, so to
Mhm.
speak, and slacking off?
Mhm.
How would you handle something like that?
So for me, I think I would like come at it from a place of like getting down to their level, like trying to understand where they're at, but at the same time, like reminding them of like, what their job is here, what they're here to do, that this is a job. It's not something that, is just for fun and, making money. Like it's also a responsibility. I have experience with like leadership, like at school. I'm on like an e-board for like the new student orientation. So like I run a group of 75 like students who need to, welcome the freshmen and like take on a lot of responsibility. So I've had a lot of difficult talks with them before and being like, this is a weekend where you got to be selfless and like you're here for the kids and you're not here for you. And this isn't like some sort of just, oh yeah, like do it for fun type thing. Like there's responsibility along with it. So I have like a lot of confidence in sort of needing to have difficult conversations with people if necessary, but also being able to lead from a place of like not kind of letting that power of leadership get to my head, like being very kind of like down to earth with like the people I work with, because like I'd want the same respect back. So
Right.
probably something like that.
Yeah. Makes sense. Good answer.
Yeah, that kind of answers an important question too about having to be in that role with people of similar age.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that can get into, but you experience that, it sounds like, with the students
It's a major-
Yeah.
that are either your age or maybe a year or two difference, but
Yeah.
pretty similar age.
Yeah, and that was definitely something difficult too, because some of them were even like my friends, like
Yeah.
are in the program, and it's like it definitely was uncomfortable at first to be like telling them what to do and kind of like leading things and being like everyone needs to stop talking so I can whatever give directions, but I've realized that as long as you like again show that respect and that you're coming from a place of this is what I have to do and I need in order to make this work for the both of us, we both need to fill our role, so like that kind of thing.
Yeah, what we're going back to is, I actually was 14 here when I
Mhm.
started teaching, and then because my father ran the beach way
Mhm.
back. And so we had a beach director throughout my career, because I went right through Springfield, I worked here. I actually
Mhm.
did the rec program we had,
Oh,
very
nice.
different than we have now. So I was here from 14 till I was like 22.
Mhm.
but we had a beach director, you know, very exclusively just managed the beach.
Mhm.
And so we tried to go back to that, and we really feel like with Dan, it's just doing like 1,000. I mean, you'll see, you know, he's involved with so much.
Mhm.
And the town, when I was in the town, we had, you know, a couple of, Tom also, we've all grown up in Mendon, but had a couple thousand residents. Now we're up to almost 7,000 residents.
Mhm.
So it's changed dramatically in a number of, you know, things going on. So we really feel like we've actually thought about this for the last few years. We have to go back to a director down there to just be able to manage that
Yeah.
program. And you can see with the renovations, we're hoping that brings more people. So Mendon in the past, no one had a pool when we were growing up. Now we all have pools.
Mhm.
You know, I don't think you have one yet, but you know, we both have one. So a lot of people have pools. So, you know, it might be out of town instead of coming down.
Right.
That's another kind of dynamic, we'll call it, that, you know, the guards have to deal with, that you'd have to deal with. So,
Yeah, that's
So you-
definitely been something we've
Yeah.
dealt with a little bit with, you know, not to scare anybody off, but
yeah,
having somebody in a position of authority, because it's kind of hard to dump that on a 16-year-old kid.
Mhm.
yeah, even in an emergency situation where there might need to be a phone call made immediately to
Yeah.
911, we don't have a lot of them. You know, in all the years that we've been at the beach, I don't think we've had a single drowning.
Mhm.
You know, and I'm talking, I'm 64, so we were at the beach when I was probably 5.
Mhm.
So I don't think there's ever been a drowning, right?
Not here that I'm
Not
aware of.
here.
Someone did
Not here.
drown in the lake.
Yeah,
Actually, I think it was a relative of the Tatros trying to
Yeah,
swim
in the-
across for a
yeah.
concert or something. Yeah.
right.
It's
Years,
sad,
those
but-
years ago. But so, you know, we it's been well managed, but we
Mhm.
want to make sure it stays that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, you know, I think having someone like Dan was saying in a leadership role is critically important
Mhm.
for us. So,
And also for whoever we appoint, it'd be something where we would welcome their feedback as well.
Mhm.
You know, I was never a lifeguard. I know AJ was, but there's a lot of things that could be done down there that we haven't even thought of yet because we're so focused on all of the parks, not just the beach.
Right.
But
Yeah.
that is a hidden gem, if you will.
Mhm.
And now that it's renovated, we expect more foot traffic.
Mhm.
And, you know, if someone said, hey, why don't we do this, this, and this?
Mhm.
And we think we can generate even more foot traffic and have some fun activities going on or whatever, we're all ears.
Awesome.
We want that to develop.
Cool. Yeah. So like kind of having like creative input or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. I've worked for a bunch of different pools and I've seen like the different ways that they're run. So there's definitely some, things that I can take from like past experiences and apply that here. And just even the way like I've done lessons at like a few different facilities and like you can definitely tell the more successful ones from the not so successful ones. So yeah, I definitely have a lot to give. So
Great.
Yeah.
I think you had mentioned, so you've taught lessons quite a bit before.
yeah, so I used to teach them when I was younger, and then I led like level 1, and I was in charge of like level 3 and 4 for a while. I taught them all at like Milford High School, and then I also taught them at Pheno Pool during the summer. And then last summer I worked at the Hopkinton YMCA and I taught them there. But that was like a different kind of curriculum. They had their own curriculum.
Right.
So that was like new to me and I kind of was just thrown into it, but I just, they do more like games when they do lessons, whereas like Pheno and Milford High School do more of the Red Cross, but each way is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, our program is pretty much the Red Cross that
Yeah.
we've kind of adapted, but I think there's definitely room for, like Tom was saying, there's room for making adjustments or,
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the things we've kind of struggled with is having the people to teach the lessons.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mentioned before, so like, Carly and Rachel did them for years and years.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're off to working multiple jobs or things like that. So I think that's something we definitely need to have somebody to oversee.
Yeah. Do they typically, like, how many levels, like, typically are,
Yeah, so
in
we do 6,
Mhm.
just the standard 6. Very often we end up canceling 4, 5, and 6.
Mhm.
Sometimes we've combined them. Like if there's 3 kids total, we'll do level 4 and 5 together.
Yeah.
That I think I sent you the website. The kind of the thought process is that you'd have. Let me even look at it. we have two guards on. So you have levels 4 and 6, then levels 3 and 5, then level 2 and level 1, and that way you have both guards for 2 and 1. But sometimes we've futzed around with that to accommodate enrollment. I mean, I think the reality is, I think a lot of people are sending their kids to programs at pools at a much younger age. We don't start until age 5. Which is another thing certainly could be looked at, but based on what we had.
Could you see any other programs other than swimming lessons developing there? What have you experienced?
Like at the pools I've been at?
Yeah, and the pool area, let's say, because you have some sandy areas, some grassy areas, a playground area, couple of buildings there. We could pop up a tent if we had to do other things, but what's your experience in other activities and things like that, or what could you bring with that? And if you don't have an answer, that's fine. We're happy just to have a director in the future. It's more, what else could we do there, just offhand?
Yeah, I'm trying to think, because typically at like the pools I've been at, we've really only done like lessons, and then we just kind of have our, swimming schedule like throughout the day. We had like a kind of a big grassy area at like Pheno, and people would come in and like we'd like let them host like birthday parties and stuff, but like that's kind of the only like but that like got a lot of people to come, and parents would like bring their own food, like they'd be in charge of all that. Like we don't provide food at the places I was at, but it's honestly, it's great that you guys like have a snack shack, because that was always a big thing that parents would like complain about at our pools, like, oh, like where can we buy food? And we're like, we can't, like we don't have that.
Well, that's interesting. So you have some, I guess, for lack of better, like some experiences in more like event management, or like being the person if somebody's having a birthday party, and
well,
not necessarily running their party, but like kind of being the point of contact if
anything,
facility.
If they needed anything or whatever. But typically it's more like a self-run kind of birthday thing by the parents. But the parents were always very like generous and nice, and would always like come up to us first and be like, hey, just so you know, like I'm gonna have this many kids coming, that kind of thing. We always had summer camps coming, like even camps from like out of town. Like they would kind of talk to our boss beforehand, figure something out, and then we'd, make sure we knew how many, kids there were and whatever. And we would have like some guards like come in early if they wanted like a more private session. Then we would have guards come in the morning and watch. But we also had like the Milford Community Youth would come for like a few hours in the day, and they would bring like one of their lifeguards, because they have lifeguard at the high school pool with the camp, so their guards would come, so we'd have like multiple guards on, which was always really helpful. But that's kind of the experience I've had.
I don't know which Milford group. There's a group that's come here a few times, usually when Hopkinton gets closed. But that's good, because that's another thing I think is kind of working in partnership with the camp director, because the camp comes down. There's 3 groups, and one in the morning and 2 in the afternoon. And we do have counselors in the water and all that, but there's stuff where like the swim tests and things that kind of gets mixed together. So that's good to know. And they can get a little out of control sometimes.
You talked about the orientation. What's your experience with scheduling?
So we usually have like meetings every week. It's like me and the executive board. It's like me and 3 other guys, and we meet with our advisor, and we like plan the meetings, and then we kind of set up the meetings for every like 2 weeks, and then for like our individual meetings. Our individual meetings are every week. Our big meetings are every 2 weeks. So we like plan activities, and kind of we've had guest speakers come in. We plan like sort of talking about like the weekend in general, but also like we do a bunch of like bonding activities just to get like the club involved with each other, because it's all like seniors, juniors, sophomores together, and so like a lot of them don't know each other, so we try to integrate everyone to kind of get like that really big family thing. We run like a retreat that's a whole weekend, so like me and the executive board, we plan like workshops, and we like book the facility and the food and all that kind of stuff. So we do a lot of that kind of work. We do interviews, like there's a whole interview season. We had like 120 kids apply this year, which was like crazy. But we went through that, and then we had like a group interview process, and then we narrow it down, and we take in like 25 people like each new class. But yeah, so it's definitely a big thing, but it's been really awesome to kind of fill into that role, because although like I always considered myself a leader, it wasn't until that I think like I saw other people recognize it in me, and I was able to really step into it and accept myself as that. So it's been cool.
I didn't get that feeling until I was about 30 years old. So
yeah, it's super wonderful, and like even just I think going to a small school like Springfield, it's like I have those opportunities, and you know, whereas like if I went to like a UMass, there's so many people that, you know, so I started my own club on campus for like film, like me and my friends, or me and one of my friends who met like in the student orientation group, we were just talking about like, oh, I wish they had something like this on campus, and then, you know, one of my like professors was like, you can do that, and I'm like, really? And so this was the first year that we kind of got it off the ground. And at first, you know, we had 5 people coming each week, and we were like, hey, whatever, 5 is better than none. And then by the end of it, our last event this semester, we had 70 people come, which was crazy. And that was really rewarding, because that was something we just started out of nothing. So, yeah, it's been cool.
Great.
I don't think I had any other questions.
I think you've answered our questions. Do you have any questions for us?
The only questions I'd asked Dan before were just like, yeah, how many people would I be kind of not managing, but like, yeah, I guess like how many lifeguards do you have managing?
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and potentially 7, which we'll talk about.
Yeah.
So it's about 7 lifeguards, and I think
sorry, go ahead.
We had talked a little bit about the hours. I'm thinking, you know, my thought is that this position would probably be like mostly Monday through Friday, like 8 to something. They're there during lessons, and a little bit into the afternoon, and then occasional nights and weekends when there's events, and we can certainly work that out.
And you're able to fill in if we need a lifeguard.
I'm looking for like as many hours as I can get. I'm trying to, you know.
Yeah, grad school's around the corner.
Yeah, definitely.
And just so you know, too, we're not micromanagers.
Yeah,
we have people that run the camps.
Never see us.
You know, that run the camp that they do a great job. They're wonderful, and we rehire them every year. And they do a super job. You know, maintenance, sometimes we have to get a little bit more involved because of, you know, things come up, or, you know, an island needs mowing or whatever. But lifeguards, again, we're not here every day. You know, I live in Mendon. We all live in Mendon. So we do cruise by, but we're not going to sit there with a notepad or anything like that. We like people to, you know, take the initiative. If they see stuff, we're here to support whoever we hire, but we're not going to sit there, like I said, with a clipboard and micromanage what happens every day.
Yeah, that's good to know, because at least like for me, that's kind of what my experience was at like Milford. Like my bosses would just kind of be like, they'd show up like once a day to like check in on us or whatever, and they were always a phone call away, but they weren't ever just like sitting there and like, you know, waiting for us to do whatever, because we were kind of on it. But yeah, I would say like the biggest thing I look for in like a management team is just like that kind of trust and support, that like, you know, I'm going to do my job to the best of my ability, and like if I ever, you know, have a like if I ever need help with like, say, you know, there's like a parent who's like, you know what I mean, like I don't know, but like just to know that like I would have support.
Yeah, that's exactly what we do. We back up our employees.
Yeah,
we try to help them any way we can. If they have ideas, we have open ears. So.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I think you basically said it. I mean, I think, you know, I think we've built a pretty good team, and you touched this earlier too. You know, and I think it's time to, you know, bring somebody into the down the beach as well.
I think the parents will value it as well. You know, with the renovations, it's kind of perfect timing to say this is what we're really trying to do for the town, because we all work. Dan is an employee, but Tom and I are volunteers. But our passion for the beach, which was, I don't know if that was your idea or both. It wasn't mine, but it needed it so bad, you know. And I'm so overly impressed with how well it came out. And I think the town is just really happy.
That's awesome.
You know, sometimes you get a little bit of flack because they don't want to spend the money because if you don't use it, but it is such a beautiful spot. And then
Yeah.
up here, you'll find it's very busy in June soon, and then maybe towards the end of the school year, and then July, because they play basketball every night of the week. There's leagues, baseball. It's just such a
Nice.
vibrant area, and then that also is enhancing all of this. Where if you'd seen it before, you probably see pictures if you're interested. It didn't look like that. It looked the way it when I was living here years ago.
Yeah.
That's how it looked, and now it's just gorgeous. It's beautiful, and you
Yeah.
can see having the lake as that view and. I think it's a great place to work. I found, which is what we can get into after the when we decide if we would hire you or not. But the again going back to the fact that if lifeguards aren't busy, because you'll find there's going to be dead times and the guards working, which I think has been a problem in the past of where, and that's what which I think these guys are very aware of, what we want to bring to it, saying, okay guys, if nobody's here, you should be raking, you should be doing this, you should be doing that, but that's the leader that I don't think that they had. It wasn't self-initiated to say, I don't know if I would have at that age either. Yeah. But it was mandated for us. We had to. Right. We couldn't sit side by side and be chatting, and that's what you will see. We were, again, we're not going to micromanage, but there's definitely a huge room for improvement with what I think in bringing in the director, we certainly want to show that with the townspeople that go down there. So, and it may be a busier year with townspeople because of the renovations. Right. And we're going to have a brand new playground. So I think we might see a lot of people coming to the beach this year. Yeah, that's exciting. We're hoping. Yeah, very exciting. And we have nighttime concerts. How many of those do we have?
At least 3 plus the library stuff, so 4 or 5.
Yeah, we have a big
5
concerts.
Yeah, I had been to the concerts last summer with my friends, and we had such a good time. And I was like, this would be a great place to work. Like I actually said that. And, yeah. So.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, very fun.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming we would let you know immediately, right?
Yeah, I think the intention is that
get going right away.
Yeah.
You're probably available. You're out of school for now.
Yeah, I'm out of school. I'm ready to work.
Okay.
If you need anything beforehand, helping get the place set up or ready, I'm totally willing to come in and do whatever.
Right. Yeah, I mean, in the past, I don't think we did it since COVID, and COVID probably, we used to have basically a gathering of the employees. Have bringing pizza or something on a Saturday, so people could get to know each other and stuff, and that would be awesome to do again.
Yeah, that'd be super
We're kind of getting tight for time, but I'm sure there's people will be ready for it. So.
Yeah, so we are a little tight for time. At this point, I'd like to make a motion to hire Victoria as our lifeguard director.
I second. Yeah.
Pending salary agreement, background checks, anything else we have to do, paperwork stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm thinking, if we were just talking, so I believe, we posted the job at 18 to 20. We did request funding from the town to cover this. So I don't know, I would say at least $18 an hour. That's what we posted, unless we wanted to talk about that further or.
In agreement with $18 an hour?
Could I push for 19 or no?
Of course you can.
You can
Be
ask
honest,
for,
just tell
can
them.
ask for 40 if you want, but we gotta look at the budget.
Yeah.
Dan runs a spreadsheet.
Yeah, at my past job, I got 19 at the Y. So yeah, I would, and that was I was 20, so now being 21 and kind of having that experience, I guess, with past stuff, if I could push for 19.
Yeah, speak up for yourself. But
yeah.
The way to go when it comes to, you'll find over the years. You don't speak up, and no one's going to give you.
Exactly. Yeah, I know. I figured it's probably best to. Yeah.
That's your remaining pool.
So I'm thinking you're looking at probably average of 35 hours a week, and then it's 10 to 12 weeks.
Yeah.
So, and we had. I do think we are going to have to go back to the town, not right away, and assuming this is successful, the town is going to need to pony up some money, and hopefully, if we generate revenue, you're going to have more money coming in as well, which will change that argument.
Yeah, you would think.
So, I think we feel like we've had this discussion a few times about investing in the beach, et cetera, et cetera.
Mhm.
So I'm fine with 19 personally.
Okay,
I think
well,
it's,
you run the spreadsheet, so.
Mhm.
I think there's value to be had in having somebody else down there to help handle some of the day-to-day stuff. For
Absolute
sure.
value.
Right.
Absolute.
That's the direction we need to go. So
The only thing is we don't do overtime. That's the
Mhm.
only,
Okay.
and we can give you an hours, I think, was it up to 40 a
Mhm.
week, right?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, we have no control over that, so.
Mhm.
well, actually, so we can pay overtime, but we have to pay.
Oh, I didn't think we could.
No, we can, but we pay it. So
But we
it's
don't
time
have
and
the-
double time and a half. We don't have the money for
So
it.
that's the money.
Yeah.
We don't
So
have.
work all the overtime you want, we just can't.
Yeah. No,
So
that's
we generally
understandable.
don't have people work over 40 unless there's like there'll be like 1 week in the summer that
Yeah.
Alan or Jen might do 45 hours because somebody was on vacation. But
Mhm.
beyond that,
Okay.
Yeah, I guess that's important to know too, like, if it, I think I'm right here, but Dan knows the answer. If it's like a bad day, like thunder and lightning, people go home, they don't get paid, right?
yeah, I mean, generally what we've done, so state law, you get minimum 3 hours if you get called in.
Okay.
So we usually, and again, that's another thing that I quite honestly just don't have the time for when you got to make sure, if people are coming at 2, by 11, 12 o'clock, we got to look at the weather, we got to make a decision. Because if that person drives here, now we're paying them for 3 hours, even if it's a thunderstorm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think we've closed a total of, it's usually around 10 days this summer at most.
And that's where the beach director would be impactful to run the beach efficiently.
Mhm.
Because there might be times where we shouldn't have 2 guards on duty, and then
Right.
other times when we need 3. So,
Mhm.
but we're not there to manage all that every day. So that's where someone like you would come in handy, and you would know when and where to place people and make it efficient. Look to expand what we offer, whatever. Just we really want to change things around this year.
Yeah.
Both physically with the beach itself, and then get staff in that can really support what we're trying to do.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Question about like thunder with your guys' pool, because I haven't done like a lake before. I've typically only done a pool, and like for us, thunder and lightning, I think it was like either 30-minute break and you pull everyone
Yeah,
out
I
and all
think-
that stuff. Is
I
it the
think we do-
same?
Yeah,
or-
I think we do 20.
Okay,
I
First
20.
sign of it, yeah.
You'll
Right.
see, if you haven't seen it, we have a giant list of rules.
Okay.
And my favorite quote is somebody said, like, I kind of thought this was ridiculous. And then in my first week, I've had to yell at somebody for every item on this list.
Yeah.
Like wearing appropriate swimming attire. Like, people think, they bring their 3-year-old and let them go swim naked. Like,
Yeah.
no, can't be doing that.
Sorry.
You name it. It's,
The good news is you only have to guard this half of the lake, not the other half. So
Yeah.
it's not a big area.
I've been there too.
Yeah.
With the,
Oh, I had a kid.
we had to stop at the paddle boat because they would go out halfway out and get stuck.
Yeah.
I had a kid when I was young, lived up the street. They came in through the ropes, they can't do. I told him they needed to get out, and he pulled a knife on me.
Oh.
Bobby Carr.
Oh, Bobby?
Well, I
that
pulled a knife on
explains
me.
a lot, yeah.
Never did anything with it, but
That was class of 1980.
yeah.
Jeez, we just had
But we don't
somebody
have any of that.
No,
bit
no,
by a
that-
snake
that
or
was-
something.
That was a different time.
Yeah, this was what,
That was the old man.
in the 70s, early 70s, mid 70s.
But I could, if anyone would do it, it would be him.
Yeah.
Crazy
I
kid.
don't know if he's still alive.
I saw his name on Facebook.
You did,
So,
huh?
yeah.
Yeah.
As a friend suggestion.
Yeah, they usually turn out to be good people. Just teenagers being goofy.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm told. So there's something on there that says children under the age of 12 need to be accompanied by an adult. And I won't name names, but I'm told that was like 8 or 9, and there was one child that was such a problem that as he went up, they kept raising the age
Oh my
because there
God.
would never again. Sue
Yeah.
Carlson was telling me.
We
that.
absolutely used to have people drop their kids off, or they'd walk down. This was all summer homes. It wasn't permanent residents. They'd all walk down. Just the kids, they'd be hanging out the whole. It was pretty cool, actually. It was because it was.
That's what I used to do.
Yeah, you did, right?
Yeah.
I'd ride my bike down. You know, we would because I lived up the street when I was a kid.
Mhm.
But yeah, they never. We always just came down because we got to know all the lifeguards.
Right.
It would be nice to see more of that.
Yeah,
With that, and that I think that's the age group we're not necessarily reaching.
yeah.
Those kids, and I've seen a lot of them at the park. So maybe they'll come down the beach. That would be nice.
Yeah, great.
But
All right, any other
Right.
questions for us?
I don't think so. I think that's everything. In terms of you know, so I'll be in contact with like Dan.
I'll be in touch.
All right.
Yeah, I
And
understand.
then and then about yeah, like starting date or like when I should come in earlier if I should,
Yeah.
or what you guys need, paperwork, all that
Sure.
kind of stuff.
We'd like you to meet Alan and Jen at some point
Yeah.
during the day-to-day camp.
Absolutely.
They're
Yeah,
great,
I'll
they're
talk
great
to them.
folks. Yeah.
We've got an app for the scheduling, an app for the scheduling, an app for the paperwork. I'll, at some point in the next day or two, I will send that all out. And then I'll be in touch, because
And actually, the maintenance director
outrageous
is
amount of cleaning.
probably your age, right? Is he's probably
Brian?
21, 22,
Yeah.
Brian?
Mhm.
Yeah, well, Jen's like 24.
And that's
Alan's
another
my
one, like,
age,
let's say you need
30.
some brush cut at the beach, or the lawn's getting out of hand, we'll introduce you to Brian as well, who runs the maintenance crew.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, again, you can call Dan, or if you know Brian directly, say, hey, Brian, can you help me out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm really excited.
Yeah, good.
Thank you guys
Yeah, we
so
are
much
too.
for everything.
Yeah, you did a great job with the interview.
Thank you.
Very articulate, very, you weren't, if you it didn't show. It really did, you know? You really did, and I didn't think it did. So just for
Awesome.
feedback for you, it was,
Thank you.
did a really good job.
I appreciate
Very good
that.
job. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do too. The fact that you were, because it makes it a little bit, like, I have a lot of confidence in you that you could do the job because of how you interviewed. you know,
Awesome.
so,
Just one last thing, guys, I don't think we voted.
On the
We didn't
salary,
actually
right?
formally- well, we didn't
voted
formally- we
to
didn't
hire
motion,
her,
we
but
didn't
not the
vote.
salary.
We didn't vote motion, we just had to vote to
So-
hire Victoria at $19 an
Yeah,
hour.
I second.
So all in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Awesome.
Yeah, great.
Thank you guys
Very
so much.
excited. Yeah, I know.
So nice to meet you.
You too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to
See you
Thank you so
around.
much. See you around.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you.
All right.
That's great.
Yeah, we got our application just for a lifeguard.
Your
It was
gut
just
told
like,
you the right thing.
no,
Yeah, your gut told you the right thing.
mainly because she was older,
Yeah, she did a really good
I
job.
think.
Even if we get it for a year, just someone to like train the staff.
We'll just see how this position works for us and make sure, you know.
We might only
like
have her for a year,
You
right?
said, that's
Right.
why, I
Even
don't
if
know.
we
I think
didn't
she's
have-
gonna go to a
that's okay.
master's program, so.
Yeah.
we
The
may-
only
For
thing
her degree,
that
she needs a master's.
Yeah.
I didn't ask, which I know you will ask, is if she's still in an orientation program, we'll see when she leaves.
Right. I think I had asked before, and she was here, it might be on the application, she's here pretty close to the end.
She probably needs some money. You
She's
know,
out for a
we have a
week in
woman
July.
that just started working for us, and she's actually she's a senior, but she's taking a couple courses in the fall, and she was like, I need some money.
Mhm.
So some of these kids aren't coming from families that are, you know, the families don't have a lot of money, and she's great. This one that's working for us is awesome so far,
Okay.
awesome. But she needs the money, so she wants to work. Well, you know, wants to work as much as possible.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, if we do, you know, I done 30, if I would do 40 hours times 19 times 12 weeks, that's 9,100. So we have 45 from the town, and then some of this will come from revolving,
Okay.
and kind
Could
of
use
split
some
it.
money, yeah.
So, and then I think the success of this year will allow us next year to go back and advocate for more money in the budget.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, we are a little tight. You know, it would be wonderful to have 3 lifeguards on, and we don't necessarily have the money for that. But if we can go back and say, there's this many people here now,
Right.
we can push
Yeah.
in that direction, then we're paying for it.
Well, that's kind of probably the great value the town will accept, is that she's also a lifeguard. She's not just a director. So she'll
Right.
be there to lifeguard
Yeah.
if needed.
Yeah, and fill in some shifts. And
Yeah.
whatever, so.
Well, we had talked about this needing to be a working manager position.
And no one
So-
is ever going to question how busy you are. Let me tell you, you're getting a lot of positive press on Facebook all over the place. So I think the town,
Well, I think it's important
people that go to the meetings know what you do.
to
so-
divest myself from some of the day-to-day stuff. I think that's part of what's causing, things to get jammed up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So in terms of lifeguards too, Jacob Rancourt, who had worked for us previously, reached out about returning. So if you're good, I would just make a motion to hire him back at $15.75,
I'll
which
second that.
Yeah.
would be his second year with us. And so that's good news. We've had a few, we've had a few people bail for the camp. I think we're all set. We overhired as we normally do. And I think we may come back and discuss promoting a couple of the junior counselors, depending on how they do, to full counselors.
All right.
But I'm not too concerned. I've talked to Alan and Jen about scheduling orientation. And I just went through, we're actually, so far, we're not that screwed with the lifeguards. I was a little nervous, because a couple of the people we had interviewed declined the job, but.
One other thing too with her is that she probably knows a lot of lifeguards.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, right.
And if it's a good gig for her, she'll probably, hey, come on over to the beach, you know.
That's a good point, yeah.
Well, I think that's what's happened with the camp, where we've had a reputation, number one, a reputation that it's not a do-nothing job.
Yeah.
So we're not getting, but we are getting other people that are coming and want to work.
Right.
So I think it's
Yeah,
helped
it's good.
having a consistent, team.
Mm.
All right, so that covers that. For the beach project now, and I don't know if, so I get an invoice from Sean for $26,700.
For work completed.
Yeah, hydro seeding, $2,700, the pavers installation and grading, $20,000, and loam and spread, $4,000. So this is all just part of the
Project.
Mhm. So I would, if somebody wants to
Make a motion to pay the current invoice for work completed.
Second.
And then, let me find his email. He sent over the estimate. So I've had a few chats now with, I met with Harshaw. The fence company came out and it was somebody else and he seemed all confused. So I'm a little nervous about the fence, but we'll see how that goes.
Was he nervous because of the gate change?
I don't know. He just seemed to be totally confused as to what the plan was, and he was like this and doing one of these. I'm like,
It's just the same guy.
I don't think it was. That's what I was
Is this a different
thinking.
guy or the same guy?
No, I think it was somebody else.
Okay.
But they were going to come back to me. I mean, the issue with the fence, the only possible issue with the fence is the gate might end up being like 6 inches higher than the fence. But I don't think it'll really be that noticeable. And it'll be so much cleaner to just have one thing. It just opens a full 360.
The only thing I
and you
don't
walk
know
right in.
if it's illegal to open a gate into a roadway.
I don't think so, as long as we have a procedure on how it, you be careful, you don't just let it swing, you bring it all the way back and bungee it so it can't swing open.
No, I get all that.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it. Is it legal?
I don't see why it wouldn't be.
Okay.
It can't like obstruct. I think as long as we make sure it's totally out of the way.
Do we need to have it sprung so that it wants to go up? Like let's just say some kid doesn't bungee it right and it's a windy day.
Yeah, we should ask
And the
about
thing's
that
like flapping in the middle of the road.
in terms of liability.
I just wonder, do we need to have it actually sprung so it wants to stay open?
Can we make hinges like that for that?
Just put a spring on it.
Yeah, that's a good idea, just for liability purposes.
Mm-hmm.
So that, and it's still kind of confusing. So Sean gave us pricing for the retaining wall. So the wall on the ramp side is $5,900. So that's going to be a wall just to mirror the ramp.
And go to the end.
And then I don't think he was going to just stopping at the ramp. I don't think he needs it past that. And then
That's a lot of money for that then. If that's the case.
Well, maybe I'll have to ask him then.
How long? Maybe how many feet it is?
No. And then the other thing, the more we looked at it, that little kind of thing right next to the snack shack, rather than try and do riprap on a slope, it's like just do a wall there and clean it up, and then that'll hold back the whatever's up there, and then the low area can just be 3/4 crush and nice and simple instead of having this ugly slope because it's a real steep slope.
Yeah, no, it's a problem area for sure.
So the whole, it's $7,100.
So this has got to be.
Sorry.
This has got to be for the whole.
Okay.
That whole wall.
Oh, here, let's ask him real
For
quick.
the cost.
Is he over there?
I didn't
He's
think
gone.
so.
I
No.
think he's gone.
Let me call him up.
Oh yeah, if you want to call him, just let's double check.
He was going on
He was going
a
somewhere.
bachelor party
Oh yeah.
he went to New Orleans, I think.
Oh geez.
He went to one in Myrtle Beach a couple weeks ago, but this was in Nola, I think, pretty sure. I think he was a little nervous about it.
Hey Sean, how you doing? This is Tom. Hey, we're at a Parks meeting, and we're just looking at your proposal for the wall. The one near the ramp. Now, that goes all the way across, correct? All the way over to the corner, right? Right to the ramp area. That's a ramp. Okay, great.
Okay.
That was just Any questions?
My bad.
We're just looking it over here. We'll probably vote on it soon, all right? Yeah, we would definitely include it. Because, want to do it right, or do it right away? That's the question. You want to do it right. All right.
Oh, ask him if he can.
Yeah, I'll put you on speaker. So, he said,
If you want me to rip those fence posts out, I can do that. And then whatever it costs to get rid of them, I'll just charge you that because I'll be there digging with the machine anyway, so it won't be a big deal. So.
Yeah, so I didn't get to that with you guys yet. I am, as best I understand it, they want, the wall has to get done. The fencing company seems to want all the paving done. They want to do the fence very last, and it seems like you'd want to put the poles in. But I don't know if, we may have to pull those poles before the paving, and I don't know if the fence company wants to do that, or, but I also think that was, part of that was included in their quote, so.
so that's what we have to check. We have to see if the fence company's supposed to pull out the old fence posts or not. We'll have to check
Okay.
their quote.
Because I don't, if they're not gonna do it, they better reduce their quote then for,
Because that's the only thing is I would prefer to have those pulled out before I do it, because God forbid there's like concrete in there, and then we get the wall in and they go to rip it out and it just budges a different way and pushes up against the wall, and then then we're
Yeah,
trying to fix something back then. So.
We don't have a problem with getting them out of there. It's who's going to pay for it, and
Yeah.
and then it's a matter of how are we going to keep the beach secure if we do pull it out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, any thoughts on that, or?
If you could I'll just see if I can call around and see if we can get some more of that temp fence that stands on its own. Like that seems to work really good.
Yeah.
And then even if you left just that corner post in, something just to tie off to,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
that corner post is staying.
Ideal.
So
That one's staying.
if we could just get temporary fence across the front entrance side, then they can pull the rest of the fence when they come do it, because there's no wall going over there on the other side of the bathrooms.
Yeah, I mean, worst case, what I could do is just
one more
anchor in a
piece.
couple posts or something in that sidewalk area when I'm building the wall, just something to hold up that chain link, and then just rip all the posts out. I mean, it's not going to be perfect, but just something to keep people out. So.
Yeah, we just get it, as long as we can still get in. Yeah, honestly, my concern is I don't think this fence will be done by the time we open. I would be shocked.
So yeah, probably a better idea than to rent like one of those standing fences then, just because that would be a little bit more secure.
Is that something we should look into, or do you know someone?
I'll ask a couple of my buddies that are in the construction. They probably got somebody. I know it's short money, I'm pretty sure, but I can call and ask them and see what they say. But I'll let you know probably by the end of today.
Okay.
Alrighty.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Not a problem.
So,
have a good weekend.
Wait, before you go.
Yep.
Do you know, we're still waiting on the railing and the invoice for the railing, correct?
Yes.
Do we have any idea what the total is on that?
I'll have to double check, but I think it's around 20 grand.
Okay. Just to get a feel for where we're at on the budget.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, like I said, I think I want to say it's right around 20, but I'll double check and I can text that over to you.
Okay, yeah. No, not super urgent, but if you get a minute, that'd be helpful.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, cool.
And looks like we're going to get some rain later today and tomorrow, so that'll help out the grass too, the trees and all that stuff. That'll be nice.
Right.
So.
Yeah, that'll be a big
Awesome.
thing.
All right, Sean.
All right, have a great weekend.
Yeah, you too. Take care.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
All right. Oh, I'll have to go back and double check all this math, but yeah. So if I don't want to, sounds like he might actually be slightly under budget, believe it or not, from the bid amount.
Wow.
Well, that's all good. We'll need every cent.
Right. Well, we've had change orders.
And, what's the problem with the fence company? Why can't they get the job done?
I think when I called him up, he said they were just scheduling the end of June now.
Yeah.
He came out, he looked at it, and he said they were going to come back. And so I have to call him again and say, all right, did you update this proposal? Like, is everything ordered? And find out. I get the impression that it's going to take a while. That we're going to be things back ordered. We're gonna be fighting them to get the job done, which isn't the end of the world.
But I thought we contacted them earlier and they said everything's fine.
He did, but then we changed the plan on them.
Let's go back to the
Not that
original
it-
plan.
Not that it matters, because it's way less work for them, so it shouldn't
Yeah,
change anything.
right.
I don't know, I'll call them after this and find out.
If that's the case,
It's
go
been
back
a
to the
week.
original.
It's been a week and the guy hasn't, so we should have,
Yeah.
basically the existing plan, just cut out
That
that
was
little
my
square.
concern the whole time, these fence guys, because
But
they typically booked out.
if we just, like, if you look at that, we would just need 2 more panels of that temporary fence over here.
Yep.
And then maybe, maybe 3 or 4. And then he could just remove all the fence in that front section, do his wall. Harshaw said the paving's easy. He would do it like it's like a partial day of work, so they would do it some, before or after a job.
Okay. Well, let's go back to the retaining wall. I think we need it.
And I'm waiting on it. Yeah. Oh yeah. So I think we should. I would
If
do
we-
this, and
if
I
you-
think we can pay for it out of the budget. But if not, we'll have to pay for it out of revolving. We got to get it done.
Okay, I
So
make a motion
Just
to accept the
approve it.
proposal to add the retaining wall to the front entrance area.
Second.
and then, do you want to vote on paying the bill for that now too? Since we,
Yeah.
I think in that case we have.
That's a separate motion, right?
Well, I think we just approve and
Okay.
I'll
Just type it above it.
I'll clean it
I'll
up,
make a motion
pay
to
for it.
approve the current invoice.
Yep, second.
Well, no, so we voted on the 26th. I'm saying for this retaining wall, I'm not, unless you want to, I don't know if we need to come back and vote on paying the bill when we get it,
Oh.
if we're okay with that.
And Ian paying the bill.
$7,100
on-
bucks, we're okay
on-
with that.
On
Yeah.
receipt of goods and
Yeah,
the invoice.
unless it's substantially different, then we'll have to talk about it.
Right.
Yeah, and then I'll follow up with the fence. I'll find out about renting some stuff. I mean, we probably have plenty of money. I just get nervous. We start spending 3 big chunks of it. Unfortunately,
there's a lot of
those
chunks.
landscape timbers, that was expensive as hell. And I'm glad we did it because it looks amazing, but that was a lot of money.
Yeah.
I mean, we currently have. let me
Well,
just
that's
double check.
where, you get a little disappointed in the engineer, because that should have been thought of ahead of time.
I was talking, well, you have the experience with this and Dan does too, but I was talking to Bruce Clifton. And he said that they do it all the time, because they don't come and look at the site. They don't know what they're looking at.
Mhm.
I forget what he and I, a little bit about the beach, but other things. And he said in his experience, it's always, because he's doing all these different projects
Yeah,
across the state.
yeah.
You know? Out of the state, and he said, they always do, because they don't know what they're looking at. They just
Right.
go specific, buy whatever they're getting.
Sometimes they look at 50-year-old plans,
Yeah,
where something could have eroded over time
Yeah.
or whatever.
right,
And that's something could we have asked for 20 grand more? Sure.
right.
If we had known it was that much of a disparity between the top and the bottom, Can't have, slides that are already tilted downward or upward.
Yeah.
So the kid would get on
Or
and not
they-
go anywhere.
I'm not going in.
Well, I think, and it's worth it to retain all the wood chips and all that.
No, it's all
For
good.
sure.
I just wish we had
And I
known.
tell you, you're gonna probably put that in the budget. Our wood chips, the amount of wood chips we lose on an annual basis, unbelievable. Danielle just had,
You should make sure the kids get checked for wood chips
Yeah.
before they leave.
yeah, shake them. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. We had to have Sean come back in, and I guess they've gotten really expensive because you have to use a certain chip, a
Yeah.
playground chip. And I think I bet you that's as big as our playground in Hopedale, and I think it was over 4,000.
Well, I think that was 2,000 or 3,000.
Yeah.
Just that, when Sean moved up there, that was like $600 for
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, they're really
When's
expensive.
the equipment coming in?
I will ask him if he's got a delivery date. When I had talked to him, it sounded like the end of June. The stuff took however many weeks to order.
Okay.
I think the installation should be pretty quick. I mean, I think we're going to be looking at having a fairly, soft opening for the first while. There's going to be things not done. We'll address the major safety concerns, and then I think we'll complete these punch list items as we go through.
Okay.
I mean, right now I've been down there trying to get stuff cleaned out, so I've got all the crap put away. I reached out to Sean about the front of the shack. I saw he did this the other day. All of a sudden I was like, oh, I didn't even notice that. No more hole.
Yeah, well, we got.
He said he was having the last piece done.
Some 2 more pieces to pop up here.
But so I asked him to let me know, and we can look at that. But I bought the panels for the front of the shack.
Okay,
I reached out to Bob Sweet about the front counter, but I don't think that's stuff that can wait.
sure.
The big thing right now is what do we have to do to pass health inspection and get the place cleaned up and get all the shit out of there. That's been my main priority.
Okay,
Um,
sounds good. And can we get the crew down here to, for the brush over near the fence?
They did this and they cleaned up the upper area. I am hesitant to cut that down because that's the privacy screen for that neighbor's fence. If you cut that down, it's wide open into a yard.
We can do anything on this side of it.
So, no, we could, I think it's a major, I actually don't think it looks terrible as green. I mean, we can kind of clean it up and make a line.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, I think she wanted to talk to us about changing that fence. So I think we need to finish this and then we can get a price on that.
Right.
And then we would have to have maintenance come completely clear it. Because that's the other problem having the front. The fence company told me they won't take the fence unless all the stuff is out of it.
Mhm.
So he already did a bunch of work and there's still some more to do.
Good.
Um,
No, I just think if we
But-
get a brand new playground.
no, we should definitely, I think if we cut it back, which I've done, it'll look way cleaner, like all the overhanging.
Exactly. That's
That's
what I'm
something I can
talking
get Brian to do. Let me make a note.
about.
That'll have to be a little bit there. Think of what else needs, so that we're waiting on the railings. And then we'll see, it's starting to see, the grass makes me a little nervous.
Why?
That hopefully it's sufficiently grown in for us to have people
Oh,
stomping all
I
over
would,
it.
I would rope it off for now. Have them come in through the basketball court.
Yeah, but if people can't walk in any of that grass, we can't open. That's the whole beach. It'll get decided.
It's gonna be a while.
So I think it'll be close.
Unless
but,
we make certain pathways for
I
them.
mean, my thought process is that our opening, so the camp starts on the 26th. My thought process that we would open the beach potentially the 24th, 25th.
Yeah.
The camp is not the end of the world. You know, they can use sprinklers for their swim time. But we do if we do it, we have swim lessons starting on the 26th, which I was kind of waiting to see if she was confirmed. And
We can't have them
Post
go in
that.
the basketball court and go right to the beach.
we could, but I think it would completely crowd out the beach pretty quickly because we usually keep the camp over there, the public, so it would just be chaos. So we'll have to think about it. I think it would be a huge mess when you get 50
Yeah, I mean,
people all
I'm
shopping.
not happy about it, but it's,
Yeah,
we also, you don't wanna lose a growing season either. People
So-
trampling on it.
I mean, we may unfortunately need to come back and seed it again in the fall.
Yeah.
I think we knew this was going to be a really challenging timeline.
Yeah.
But we do have what? We got 3 weeks.
So, can we do a rundown here with some of the last remaining items? And
Yes,
when they're gonna be, so we have fence, retaining wall, playground equipment. we
Yeah, so
have-
the retaining wall that Sean's gonna do, the prep for the paving, the actual paving, and he's gonna give me a quote on the catch basin.
But can we just put it on paper or something, just, cause
Yeah,
just to like line it all up here, like what's left?
so the retaining wall for the entrance.
Yeah, paving,
Paving of the prep for the sidewalk, the paving of the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Basketball court and catch basin. Then
fence,
the fence,
playground equipment.
then the playground equipment has to get done. The railings.
And of course, the, grass growing, not that we
Yeah.
have a ton of control over that, but
I want to order some tables, so I should do that.
should we wait till, see what we have for funds?
Well, I built that into the budget, but I had
How much?
5,000, and I think that was about 8 or 9. I haven't looked.
How many
the
were we
pricing
gonna
out.
get?
I don't know yet. I mean,
Gonna say, why don't we get like 2 for now?
well, yeah, that'll be a huge complaint, so we'll have to pay them out of revolving or something, and
Picnic tables?
yeah,
I ordered,
But
I
I
figured
want-
I'd either donate them but
Yeah.
Tri-County had 2, maybe it was BBT. These kids did a project, had 2 for sale for $175 each. And I knew they would be well built, and they were gone.
Oh, is that right?
I said, I'll take 2, because there was 4, and I said, well, I'll take 2, and the kid got back, and he said, sorry, they're gone.
Yeah, so they're about $900. So we could get 4 of them.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking we might need that extra money, so we just get a couple of them for now and then
Yeah.
see where we're at. We can always buy
Yeah.
a couple more next year. We have old tables we can pop down there for now.
Why?
Not that we
yeah,
want to.
I
but-
don't want to use them because they're going to ruin the grass. They're so heavy. That's the problem. I mean, I don't want to despair. Like, they're amazing, but they don't work down there. Well, I mean, every time they can't get moved. But I think I don't know. Well, I have to do another deep dive into this and make sure all these numbers add up, because now it was balanced and now it's not.
Yeah.
But I had included because the fencing, the estimate was the estimate we got was 20, 25, and 7. But I'm assuming it will go down now that we're building some fence. I mean, it may only be 24, 23. The playground we have a number for. Signage, I had done 1,000, but we can pay for that somewhere else, and that's probably an overestimate.
Do we, going back to the fencing, because I think the fencing is critical.
Yeah.
Right, to get this job done. Can we contact the guy that gave us the original quote and say, hey, just circling back on this, we're trying to simplify the project?
Yeah, well, I'll call them and just say, we had somebody come out, you were supposed to, what's going on, we were supposed to get a new proposal.
But I would even try to
Let's get a
contact the
timeline.
original guy that
Yeah.
we met with, who seemed to be, very knowledgeable and all that, and he wasn't confused by anything. Just say, we need to get this done, we have it, just tell him, we have a grand opening the end of the month.
Yeah.
Just tell him that. And the fence is a crucial feature.
Right.
And I would say, go ahead with the paving.
Yeah,
Get this wall done, get the paving done, and so there's nothing that they can complain about. And if we have to dig the posts out ourselves, we'll dig them out.
Well, if Sean's back next week, he can do the wall next week, and the,
Yeah, he's back Tuesday.
so if we can do that and the paving next week,
Right.
that means the fence company is good to go after the 12th, theoretically.
And we'll just tell them that we're good to go.
So, and he had told me, so when I first called him, that's what they said, is, I'll pencil, we're scheduled the end of June, I'll pencil you in right now.
Yeah,
So, it's just a matter of making sure everything's been ordered and done,
so they already penciled this in.
and even if they can just do this front section, we can always do this a week later, but get the entrance done. So it's clean and fixed,
Okay.
because we don't necessarily want to have them dealing with that. So after this, I'll call him back and find out what the status is.
Now, have we been watering, or is it something?
Sean's been doing it, and I did. Maybe I said you didn't come yet. I said to AJ, the tree bag. I ordered those bags for the trees, and they just got delivered last night, so they're in my car.
He doesn't have a timer, huh?
He does. He's got those 2 sprinklers and a timer, and then they were coming at night to do stuff. And you can see it's growing, and I think this weekend it'll help a lot.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yes,
So,
it's been super hot the last couple of days. Okay.
and I can maybe we can see if somebody wants some hours that can come.
So let's get Hashar in here, we'll get Sean with the wall done.
Yeah, it sounds like Harsh is all set. We just he wants the other stuff done first, but he seemed like no issue. His pricing, I mean, we got multiple pricing. His pricing was reasonable.
Yeah.
It's a pretty simple job.
We probably should have kept that plastic fence we just threw away.
Yeah, I know. Well, that was disintegrating. I can ask the guys at the campus too where they're getting it from.
Does the town have any?
No.
Is that any temporary fence?
We have orange snow fence.
What's wrong with that?
Not much. It's just it's short. That's all.
People can get around through this anyway. It just it's a matter of keeping kids out.
They do have a ton of that because they made them put it all across that thing for the fireworks. So it's got like 10 miles of it.
Yeah, a lot of it.
Yeah, as long as you support it,
You just buy some. I mean, I don't know where he maybe borrowed that from somebody. So I don't know. We'll find out.
Anything else, Dan? We got.
Oh yeah. So Monday, I don't know. It's up to you. If you don't have to go.
Yeah,
I just kind of was thinking I didn't
here,
necessarily want to be the one. So they're doing a zip trip in July, and they're looking to come out and shoot B-roll in advance and interview somebody to talk about the beach as a place to go. So she's coming. She says Monday, June 5th, around 8:45 a.m. We would only need half an hour or less of their time. Granted, she's changed it twice, so I don't know if, I think they're kind of busy, but.
So if AJ and I show up, we'll be good.
Yeah, I mean, I plan on coming too. She's like, oh, they don't know. I'm like, I don't know. I figured that would be something that the board could do, and I know, especially like with your history, that's probably something they like to hear about.
Yeah, I'll be here. So.
You guys are more well spoken on that
and
stuff.
you can give them maybe some old pictures of the beach, or they could flash that.
Yeah, I can. Oh, that's a good idea. I can send her some of those pictures we used, and then they can roll that in.
Right.
Okay.
Question for you guys: how about a Parks Department entry into the cardboard boat race?
Well, we're doing
the brothers. I know have one. I'm just thinking between the beach, the snack shack, the camp.
yeah.
Well, the guards might do one.
Yeah.
The camp stopped because it was too much. I don't know if any staff wants to do it, but it was just with the kids, it was a mess.
Yeah.
I
mean, it's our beach and we don't even participate. You know what I mean? Like it seems
like
what the town hall was
well, the
thinking
three of
about
us do it or something. Or
I have to tell you though, I can't help to build it till we're gone till the 22nd of July.
Yeah.
And it's the week after, so that's our Italy Greece trip.
Oh, nice. That's
so
awesome.
yeah, so I won't be able to help build it possibly, but I'd love to participate. Absolutely.
Okay. Danny, you in?
Yeah, my only concern is I have to work that event, so I maybe can't get tied up in a swimsuit in a boat, but it would be, I know they town hall, they were talking about it too. Ellen was thinking if she could get some people in town hall that wanted to do one.
Yeah.
Because I think it is a really good,
Yeah, it's a fun thing.
It's built,
well, the challenge is cool.
What the brothers did was really smart.
It really, we said, if you saw the challenge from the brothers, it's so that we challenged all the other town departments and, blah, blah, blah. And so it was Tom Fickner wrote the challenge, which is like bring the gauntlet down. So I just ordered, it's coming in today. It's not a gauntlet, but it's like Thor's hammer.
Yeah.
That's because you can set it and I'm going to decorate it. So that'll be the trophy.
Oh, nice.
That whoever wins will get this trophy. And then the other side of it is we're all supposed to kick in, which we'll decide later, a certain amount of money.
Yeah.
And that will go to the winner's charity of choice. Or
Right, that's
whatever.
it last time, right?
Yeah, it was just us in the fire and, Bruce was like, I want to challenge all these, challenge the town, like the police and blah, blah, blah. So I said, well, let me, let's see what we come up with. And then, it'll be in the paper. The challenge will be in the next crier.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it's called anymore, but we put it's going to be. I contacted crier, said this would be great for you guys. I think, and they said yeah. And the other thing with the criers, I said it would be really good if you could send somebody out to do a piece on the beach, and they said absolutely.
Oh, good. Did you? Yeah.
So
I
that's
should
the
talk to
editor.
them.
Yeah.
And she said that's a great idea. So get them more, because the crier is a lot of advertising, which is nice, but. Because we're advertising the cry as well, but
No, they should come out and do a story on this.
They should,
This
absolutely.
is, an actual story, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
absolutely.
We should. I mean, I don't have. I hate to say, I don't have time to build anything, but maybe I do later on.
I just think it's,
But-
it's
no, it
our-
would be nice
It's
to
our
do-
beach.
yeah,
it's
we
a-
should do
You know what I mean? I just
I
feel
can
we
tell you, if you
we should
haven't,
be somehow represented.
Bruce Clifton he was the guy that had the ideas last year for ours, and it was solid as could be.
Yeah.
So I can
But
share.
are the brothers already doing one or no?
Yep.
They are.
Yep.
So they're already.
But it was like 3 of us did it.
Yeah.
Maybe a 4th
Get
guy
them in
came and
July.
helped a little bit. You don't need 10 guys.
No.
You only need a few. You just need a place to put it. So we just worked out of my garage.
We
Yeah.
have cardboard somewhere.
Yeah, if you go with the
They can't.
corrugated.
Well, I got big. Somebody gave us these sheets. Actually, it might still be right here. Yeah,
The thicker the better.
I got like 5 of them left.
And all we did was layer
Not
it.
anything
We
special.
did a lot of layers. And the sucker was heavy, but it floated.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 8 of them left.
Okay.
Because the camp, they would build a boat and then they would pick the kids out of the lottery, but then it was just a huge hassle, so they stopped doing it. Figured if the kids want to do it, they can build their own boat with their
Sure.
friends.
Yeah.
But maybe I'll ask him. Maybe the staff want to do something.
Yeah, we just started gathering all the cardboard a month ahead of time.
Like I would help build it and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
even they can use my garage or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I don't care. I just feel like it's
Yeah.
something that we should do.
Yeah.
Like not that we have to, but
Well, I think, and I mean, Andrew will probably do one. So
Yeah, we had
library, I mean.
we just need sawhorses Cause we started building it on the ground, and then we raised it up, cause we painted it, you know, and cause you can paint it, that helps a little bit with the waterproofing.
Yeah.
I think we actually used nails, but they were all covered up, you couldn't see them, so last year no one really looked at them, I don't know if they were.
That's allowed, I think.
The nails, I mean, we literally used nails, cause it was so thick, the cardboard was so thick.
If the
Staples
boat,
wouldn't get through it.
the secret is to paint the boat with oil-based house paint.
Yeah, so you gotta.
Like 5 coats of house
It doesn't
paint.
suck up all the water.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we literally, we went with the lightest guys we could think of, you know, be in the boat.
Yeah.
Gomes and Mark and Sean, and they just went to town. I mean, they cranked, and the other guys, I think they tipped over. But I Googled it, and it's pretty popular in other states, I think. And then this guy said, this is the design you want to shoot for. So I had that for Bruce to look at,
Yeah.
and that's what we went with. It was kind of on a little bit of a canoe idea, but not quite. So you have to balance where the people sit, because if you don't balance that, they'll fall. So you make sections, so if you take in water, it won't keep going the whole boat. It'll go
Okay,
in
yeah,
certain
yeah.
sections.
Yeah.
There was definitely some engineering kind of behind it to make it so that you wouldn't tip and you wouldn't sink.
Mhm.
And we had that thing. They might have kept it just because it was that solid.
Okay.
People, yeah, it was. You could have gone out and there with it all summer if you wanted to.
Mhm.
It was that solid.
That's what they used to do. They would pick the best boat at the end of the race and they'd set it aside, the snack shack, my friends, and then like a week or two later they would take it out to the island and back, and they'd usually make it all the way out and halfway back. So there's
Yeah.
probably like 4 of them out there. I know David did it one year. But
All right, just a
no, that's a
thought.
good. We should do something.
Yeah, I like the idea. I like it. I just can't help. I can help when I get back. But,
Yeah.
But you don't need to make it too far in advance. But
Right.
I think we started like the week before and it was fine. But I actually need to run back
All right,
to
yeah.
work.
Yeah, I gotta get going too. I told my wife I'd take her on the boat.
But the only other thing was, do we have a sense of, are we gonna wait till everything's completely finished for like doing a grand reopening?
Well,
I
based-
would.
based on the schedule,
In
we're
like
looking at the
mid-
end of July.
I would hold off and
Right.
schedule more formal something in mid-July. Personally,
I know Sean, when I talked to him,
he
he was rather wait because he didn't want to show people an unfinished product, I believe, which I completely understand from his perspective, so.
Yeah, the grass will be in, all the walls will be up,
Retaining.
the fence will be in. The fence is like a key, I think, to.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's the first
Oh.
impression is the fence, you know.
Well, I think we'll have issues when we first open. You know, if something not with his work, but if if something goes wrong, if we're trying to clean up,
it gives us time too, I guess, to get, like, if we want to invite certain
Make sure the signage is
dignitaries, so to
done,
speak.
yeah.
Yeah.
Gives them plenty of time to plan, so.
I don't know if any of the buildings need a fresh coat of paint or anything like that.
no, and with it's like the work on the shack that I need. If Sean can do it, I still gotta talk to Karen about having refreshing signage.
Yeah, signage would be nice too.
You know.
Yeah.
Joe Hood, by the way, you know.
Oh yes, I know. I
The
talked to him.
Scoutmaster, he can make any signs you want.
I mean, I think really what we need, we have those boards with that you put the papers in. I like those a lot because then you can change them out. We're not paying money to reprint signs.
Yeah.
I just got to figure out where we're going to mount those, if we mount them. But I'm thinking you need some sort of an entrance sign with our hours. We need a new menu sign for the snack shack. And then some sort of a post, I mean, I don't know where you put it, something to put the rules on. Like, I don't think we have to go too crazy, but it probably should be, you know, and then I hesitate to spend a bunch of money on a sign with hours and then we change our hours, so.
That stuff like that should be in the
Yeah,
opening board there.
even just a yard sign is like, that. You know, that looked good on the fence,
Mm.
just said Meditown Beach entrance to public swimming. So, you know, I may just do that and order it online.
All right, well, I thought I made a good hire today.
Yeah, no, I think I was impressed when I, well, let's adjourn if
Keep
we're,
us
Yeah.
posted on the fence and stuff.
Motion with you.
all right, so I will stop.
Second.